Well, 2 years after the Delhi High Court decriminalized homosexuality, another sign of just how little things have actually changed on the ground. This time, it's no less than the Health Minister of India who's described gay sex as unnatural. This, he says, is something that should not happen.
जो चिंता का विषय है, बदकिस्मती से दुनिया में भी और ये बीमारी हमारे देश में भी आ गई, जहां आदमी आदमी के साथ सेक्स करता है, जो कि बिल्कुल अननेचुरल है, नहीं होना चाहिए, लेकिन है हमारे देश में भी उसकी संख्या अच्छी खासी है कि मर्द के साथ सेक्स करता है, उसको ढूंढना बड़ा मुश्किल है.
Well, let's get into the debate immediately. What, Mr. Kidwai, is most sort of shocking in all of this for you, if anything? Is it the fact that somebody is making such a statement publicly, or is it that it's a health minister, or both?
The fact that a representative of the government, and that too the health minister, is saying things that undo all the work that his own ministry has done in the past, undoes all the work that his own organization, that NACO, has done in the past. That a minister should come up there on a public forum, send out a message that goes down right up to the Zilla Parishad, send out a message that has been accepted by NACO as being self-defeating as far as HIV and AIDS is concerned. Now, for me, this is the most shocking. I'm not going to get into this debate, and I don't think it's worth whether it's natural or it's imported or not. We've done that a million times, and that's not the issue here. The issue is the government defeating its own purpose all the time. Is it going to come so far, do so much work, spend so much money, and then a minister should say something so irresponsible and so ignorant?
When you hear this, do you sort of fear that this could sort of impact government policy in any way? Is that sort of something that is now a worry? I mean, if the health minister is making these statements,
you see, what
nobody's going to be issuing a
is,
clarification.
Yeah, what worries me is we're not sure where the government stands. I mean, just last month, the United States signed the United Nations Human Rights Charter, in which it's promised to not discriminate against homosexuals. Now you have its own minister in front of its prime minister and the president of the ruling party saying that homosexuals are diseased. Now, where do they stand? What I am is that not that the government is going to reverse, but what is the government doing? And what is its stand, whether it believes in what it signed in the United Nations or what its minister is saying in Delhi?
Right. Shashi, would you agree with that? We have no idea where the government really stands, but there is a health minister who's making statements like that. But before that, let me just ask you, we're told that Ghulam Nabi Azad will be issuing a clarification. Will you buy any of that?
Well, you know, whatever his statement came, it's totally absurd. It means, how could a person who is sitting on such a high position, and especially he's being the health minister of India, could say something like that? He's refuting his own predecessors, whatever they have done so far in favor of homosexuals, whatever. So how could he say at this juncture of time? And you know,
does it make your battle really far tougher in a sense?
No, not really. You know, like the matter is sub judice, means it's still under the Supreme Court, and Delhi High Court has already decriminalized. So, well, it will give more impetus to the struggle for LGBT community. You know, like if he says something against them, definitely they will come up and they will fight with more vigor. So I don't think there's any setback for our struggle for this legalizing or
but that doesn't really stop people from coming out and condemning a statement.
Exactly,
of this
yeah, definitely.
Right, Kamal Farooqi Saab, if I could just ask you, you have, of course, earlier made your views on this topic fairly well known, but were you also, in a sense, surprised to hear the Health Minister of India make that statement?
No, I'm not surprised, because this, perhaps he is, what Health Minister has said, I do not know what are the reasons behind it, but perhaps he is going more by the public perception and the perception of the general society in the country, because in any way in our country would not actually we are trying, let us try to make a distinction between the decriminalization and giving a license to the homosexuality. These are two different things. Earlier our fight is just, yes, they are normal human beings, they should not be treated in a different manner, but that does not mean that we will be allowing them to have the free sex among themselves and allowing them, giving them a kind of certificate. That is what perhaps the minister has said.
Of course, whenever we talk like this, we're always sort of reminded of, say, freedom, personal liberties, sexual choices. They're all adults.
Yeah, but at the same time, it does not mean that we will propagate the way these gay brothers have been demonstrating in the open about the sex within the same group. I don't think that me as a Muslim would...
Is the demonstration a problem?
No, not the demonstration. When we are at one stage, we are talking that it's a personal choice. That yes, if it
which you agree with, it is a personal choice.
Of course,
Right.
of course they will have to suffer for it. If at all they are doing anything good or bad, they will personally suffer for it. But that is their personal choice. But
Suffer for it as in there'll be sort of
maybe
punishment from God.
Yeah, yes, right. Definitely. If you talk about the religious point of view, definitely in Islam it is totally haram.
Right, Salim. So will always be children of a lesser God, really, in a sense.
You see, it doesn't matter what is religion is between me and my God. You know, what someone else says my God is going to do to me, I think I'll leave it to my God to decide about me. He created me. Now, this is not issue about either being Muslim or what happens in my afterlife.
Right.
This is an issue about health. Right now, this is a health minister speaking. And I don't think we should confuse this by saying whether this is unnatural or natural.
Of course.
I mean, we're talking about a serious health issue. Is this health minister helping the mandate that he's been given? He's not. He's being irresponsible. And that is where I think,
really.
absolutely. Right. I mean, I don't think we should confuse this by going back into the debate that was on a legal issue, in terms of human rights. Here we're talking about a health issue.
Right, fair enough.
NDTV's cricket app, Android and iPhone. Fastest scorecard, special analysis, and much more. Download free. NDTV.com/apps.